His Excellency, Mr. Masanori Nakano, Ambassador of Japan to Jamaica, Senator, the Honorable Roa Reid, Minister of Education, Youth and Information, Ms. Maxine Headlam, Regional Director in the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, Mr. Ian Bell, Mr. Barrington Litchmore, Chairman, Epworth Primary, Reverend Zuriel Williams, Chairman, Zion Hill Primary, Mrs. Simone Green Johnson, Principal, Zion Hill Primary, Mr. Kirk Spencer, Epworth Primary, officials from the National Education Trust and the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Ohio gozaimasu.
Ohio gozaimasu.
Now 2 weeks ago, when we signed the grants for Middleton and Highgate, it was in the afternoon and I said konnichiwa. And when we were leaving, the children in the car were like, konnichiwa, konnichiwa, konnichiwa. So they learned one Japanese word that day. And that is the kind of partnership that we want in education, where we transfer culture, language, and a big part for me is food. This morning, I have the distinct pleasure of welcoming you here to witness the official signing for the grants for Zion Hill and Epworth Primary Schools. These two schools I have worked with, and they are some of the most responsive in terms of getting things done. In particular, and with no bias, Zion Hill Primary took the effort to actually prepare a development plan for their school, which they submitted to the minister. And it was based on that we did our investigation. We took the team from the Embassy of Japan down to take, and as a result, we're here today. What it says is that schools have a plan, because you never know where that plan will take you. This marks another milestone in the partnership between the National Education Trust and the Government of Japan through its embassy in Jamaica. And this partnership stems from a mutual understanding of the significance of investments in human capital and a shared objective of meeting critical primary education needs in our schools. Based upon the vast needs that exist, it is the mandate of NET to expand the investments in education. And therefore, this partnership with the Embassy of Japan is fundamental to what we do and what we hope to do in the development of education. Through the Grassroots Human Security Project, the Government of Japan has assisted several schools across the island to vastly improve school facilities. Today, Zion Hill Primary in Manchester will receive a grant of $82,782, and Epworth Primary in St. Anne, and by the way, I'm very biased to St. Anne because, that's my parish, will receive a grant of US $82,715. The grants will be used to construct 2 classrooms at Epworth, and at Zion Hill, the grant will be used to carry out extensive safety, security, and sanitation works at the school, and also to retrofit a room for ICT resource room. The project aims to transform the schools into safe, secure, conducive teaching and learning spaces for our children. And here we're giving our children an opportunity to unleash their full potential as future leaders of our beloved country. We're gracious and humbled that the ambassador and his team, and last time I didn't say officially welcome to Mr. Moto and Mr. Yamaga. Alright, I'm not going to do that part. But welcome to the new team, because I think this is the 3rd team that I'm working with so far, and it's always a pleasure, and they're very hands-on with everything. And I get several emails a day from Mr. Moto on something. So it's really a pleasure working with them because you can see where they have the best interest of our schools at heart, and they really want to see the school transformed into an environment that the children will feel safe. And what at the heart of it, when they go and they do these site visits, they're looking to see where needs are. So if the need is just a little paint job, you won't get through with that grant. It has to be a need that is really critical. So we are committed to building on this partnership, and we want to ensure that the Grassroots Human Security Project is a success. So we're committed to strengthening the Japan-Jamaica relationship, and the NET team is ready to get the project started and completed within time, on budget, and to the highest standards. To the staff and students of the school, we hope you recognize that this is a tremendous gift, and we need you to take care of the plant as if it is your own home, because that is where you spend the vast majority of your days. And it's an investment in you, in your community, in this country. So we want to ensure that we at NET work with you to complete the project to your satisfaction and to the satisfaction of the benefactor. Ambassador Nakano, domo arigatou gozaimashita. On behalf of the Board of Directors and Management of NET, I want to again express appreciation for the gift, and I invite others to come and partner as we transform our schools and the lives of our children. Yo kuso.
Moderator Mr. Davis, Ambassador of Japan, His Excellency Mr. Nakano, and other members of the Japanese delegation, Minister of Education, Youth and Information, Senator, the Honorable Royal Reid, and other members of the ministry, Director of National Education Trust, Ms. Harris, and other members of the trust, Board Chairman, other distinguished and specially invited guests. Good morning to you all.
Morning.
Providing good quality education is essential in this modern and technological age. It is equally important that we not only provide the opportunities, but create equity in the process of this provision. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what is happening here this morning. For us at Zion Hill, today marks a significant and joyous moment in our lives. We are truly appreciative and grateful for the assistance from the government of Japan to establish for us a suitable playing field and an ICT room for our 170 students enrolled. Through this charitable gesture, lives will be enhanced and enriched, not only at the school, but surrounding communities will also benefit. On behalf of the school's Board of Management, staff, students, and parents, it is a pleasure to express a big thank you to all the integral stakeholders who made this venture possible. We're deeply gratified by this kind gesture. One love, peace, and thanks to all.
Moderator, Ambassador of Japan, Mr. Nakano, the Honorable Senator Royal Reid, distinguished guests. On behalf of the Epworth Primary School family, I would like to offer our sincerest gratitude to the Japanese government for their offer on this day. We are extremely honored that we were considered, and even more so, that we were selected for this project. Everyone wanted to be present for this memorable occasion, the signing ceremony, but sadly, not all could be here. Those present will bring back words to the community, to those who will be reminded that the giving that is worth giving, the giving that will continue to give, is that which will help to elevate the child from ignorance to understanding. It is the gift of education. The additional classrooms to be built will serve the students by providing much needed space, which will positively impact student and teacher outcome. It will also benefit the community as a whole because our partnership and our commitment, because of our partnership and our commitment to the development of holistic global citizens. The Japanese government, to our Education Minister, the Honorable Royal Reid, to Ms. Damoto, Ms. Taniwe, Ms. Henry, our education officers, Ms. DaCosta, and everyone who worked to make this possible, would like to say thanks. For we know that for us to prepare the children for today to become the bright, hard-working problem solvers of tomorrow, we need to act as a community. For we create not individuals, but individuals who are global citizens and part of an ever-shrinking world. So we would like to say thank you on behalf of the Epworth School family. We really appreciate this.
It is a pleasure to welcome you all for the grant contract signing ceremonies between our Embassy of Japan and the Zion Hill Primary from Manchester, as well as Epworth Primary School, St. Anne. This morning, we'll sign two grant contracts for two projects being implemented under the Grant Assistance for Grassroots Human Security Project of the Government of Japan. The first one already Ms. Latoya-san explained. The first one is the project to undertake wide-scale rehabilitation works at Zion Hill, for which the amount of 82,782 US dollars, approximately 10 million Jamaican dollars, will be provided. The second one is the project for the construction of two classrooms, and Epworth will be provided with a fund of 82,715 US dollars, approximately 10 million Jamaican dollars. I'm extremely happy to learn that a modest contribution will help Zion Hill Primary in Bombay, Manchester, towards fixing its play field, setting up a computer room, paving the school driveway, and setting up a drainage system. At Epworth Primary, two classrooms will be built to meet the needs of the school, which at present is short of a spacious learning environment. So this is the first collaboration between the Embassy of Japan and these two institutions of learning. And it is my greatest hope that these new projects will primarily serve the needs of all teachers and students who will benefit from an improved school environment with better resources and infrastructure, as well as additional classrooms. On an ongoing basis, the Government of Japan's Grant Assistance for Human Security continues to support small-scale grassroots projects, especially in the area of education. In fact, since the beginning of this March, we have had grant contract signing ceremonies for Highgate Primary and Junior High, Middleton Primary, Jamaica Foundation for Lifelong Learning. So we are going to continue this kind of project together with the Minister Reid and Education Ministry. Since I arrived in Kingston almost 2 years ago, April 2015, as Ambassador of Japan to your beloved country, I purposefully put a focus on providing funding assistance to Jamaica's education sector. Why? Because it is my strong belief that education is the key to develop a nation and people, and of course leads a society with less antisocial behavior. And also education forms the core part of the human security that the government of Japan places priority in implementing its official development assistance. So some of you might not have heard the words of human security. The human security is defined as to safeguard all human lives in ways that enhance human freedom and human fulfillment, and call for a strategy of protection and empowerment. In other words, education, to secure people's life and dignity. So believing in the limitless capacity or ability of each individual, this concept, this idea is to allow the people, each and everyone, to develop his or her abilities, God-given talent, to the maximum extent possible. This is the human security. So I do believe that law, like all the bright young students present here today, Jamaica has the great potential for advancing its further economic and social development as a progress nation. And I also believe that there are many passionate Jamaican educators who are earnestly trying to nurture the talent, skills, knowledge, abilities of their students. So this is why we are working with teachers and staff at your respective schools, as well as personnel from the Ministry of Education, to provide your schools with improved resources to strengthen your educational and learning environment. So there is a very famous saying that education is a passport to the future. For tomorrow belongs to the people who prepare for it today. So with all this in mind, we sincerely hope to continue to cooperate with people and the government of Jamaica to meet its development targets for the betterment of your beloved nation. Please accept my best wishes to everyone present here. And I'm looking forward to attending the handover ceremony when this project is completed. So I like to see teachers and students and community people there. So on that note, therefore, it is with great pleasure that I signed two contracts formalizing the agreement between the Embassy of Japan and Zion Hill Primary School as well as Epworth Primary School. Thank you very much. ありがとうございました。
This is a good morning, and we celebrate life. We celebrate hope. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. This is a glad occasion. And we want again, Ambassador, I look forward to coming here very often, because every time I come here, you're giving good gifts to the children and the people of Jamaica. Put your hands together for Ambassador. Ambassador, you have just made the point that in your 2 years of sojourn in Jamaica, how much you have facilitated in terms of the level of significant investment into the Jamaican education system. There is no expression of gratitude and appreciation is enough to thank you, sir, and your government for believing in Jamaica, investing in the future of Jamaica, our children. Congratulations again. Thank you so much. Our teachers have been told, Ambassador, were very wonderful stories about the rewarding experiences they have gained through the Japan Exchange and Teaching Program. The lives of those who have been participants in the Japan Exchange and Teaching Program and hundreds of other Jamaicans indirectly have been enriched culturally and educationally as well as economically, not to mention the fact that most of us do drive Japanese vehicles. We hope, however, that this program can be expanded in the coming years. Ambassador, as you're aware, Jamaica's tourism industry is equally expanding very fast, as well as the maritime and logistics sector. Recently, Jamaica was ranked number 12 on the world's best destination list by TripAdvisor's Traveler's Choice, which is one of the globe's largest travel sites. Ambassador Jamaica was ranked ahead of such destinations as Bali, London, Paris, and Rome. I didn't see, Japan featured in there, right? So hopefully we can help to transform Japan as a tourist destination. But, so we are ahead of Japan in some regards. Jamaica, however, wants to be number one in everything. So hopefully we can transform Tokyo as a major tourism destination. But we want some more Japanese to come to Jamaica to enjoy the warmth and the love of our people and our children. So as you give to us, we want to give back to you. We believe if more Japanese tourists were to visit our beautiful island, we would achieve that objective faster. I believe, Ambassador, that you can give us some help in that respect, and I want to thank you in advance. We're happy that the government of Japan continues, however, to expand its partnership in education through the grassroots Human Security Project that we've just mentioned. Today's grant signing will greatly benefit the students, teachers, and other stakeholders at the Zion Hill and Epworth Primary School. And I would want to echo what Ms. Latoya Harris has said. In fact, it's something I've been saying to the entire system. Now is the time with your school improvement plans to make sure you have a plan. And so we do all the preparatory work, have our designs, and just ready for financing. And congratulations, and I know particularly, I don't get jealous, but I know the new principal of Zion Hill. Having been a new principal, wanted to get her school to be number one. I think she was trying to compete with JC at the time. So she bombarded me, and but the story in the Bible about when you keep knocking, and you'll get here and get an answer. So congratulations, Mrs. Green Johnson, that your dream has come true, and to all the board members, teachers, and students. And no doubt, Regional Director Hedlam, I know the condition of Southeast St. Anne, so we're very happy that we've been able to direct some resources your way. But as was said before, this is really a partnership. And the truth is, our Jamaican education system is not yet right-sized, unfortunately. We did come through a consensus, and I really want to take this opportunity to say to my other colleagues that I really don't want politics to divide us where education is concerned. We did have a task force report on education in 2004, Mr. Davis, which already said that there are 50% of our schools are in disrepair. And we certainly need, and what was said then, to build at least 100 new schools, that's all. Right? I look at the data that was sent to me yesterday, that in regards to an update, because there have been a lot of debate recently about taking schools off shift. The fact is that in 2010, there were 111 schools that were off shift. So we have done reasonably well to have brought that down to now 47. We took 10 off shift last year, and even as the population has shifted, so let the explanation be given as well. Not only are we expanding facilities, but by diverting, as we rationalize schools from all age and primary and junior high, we have also been able to move those populations elsewhere and be able to de-shift many of our institutions. However, still require significant investment to take schools off shift. So we are now down to 47. In our budget going forward for the new fiscal year, $350.5 million are being provided to take another 12 to 15 schools off shift. We have a program in the initial stages in the next 3 years to spend over $1 billion to take as many schools off shift. We will still require, in a 15-year program, to build at least 17 new schools. But let Jamaicans understand that to build one school today and to outfit it with furniture is almost $1 billion Jamaican dollars. So while we are reeling from, yes, and I really want to tell you that I feel it for some of us who have to pay the new property taxes. But let us have a mature discussion that the government that works for us, how does it earn its resources? How does it get it? It's your money. those of us who work, it is that money that is used back to pay our salaries and to invest in infrastructure, education, etc. So it's either you're going to get it from taxes, and yes, if you don't move the tax rate up, it means therefore as a society we have to be far more productive, we have to have more businesses that are earning more profits. Sales are expanding by virtue of our GCG as we consume more, but if we are going to be able to consume more, we have to have higher salaries. But we can't get higher salaries if government don't have the revenue to pay us higher salaries. So it's a whole circular flow of income. It's a cycle. So government, either through taxes, fees, grants, that is why this is significant. So note the fact that we get grant means that we have to use less taxes. Are you with me? So it's so significant this is, because the alternative, so the 17 schools that I need to build, if I could get all of them as grant from the government of Japan or China, I mean, that would be wonderful. Because to build a 17 school is a whopping $13 billion. Can you imagine another tax of $13 billion? So that is the reality. I know I've given Madam Latoya some tasks to do. We have to look at some mix of loan funds to help. So we're not going to do anything. We have to do something, but we need help. PPP we're looking at, where we can have, whether countries or corporate companies, build the schools and we pay them back over time as a public-private partnership. But I'm very attracted to grants, so I'm appealing not only to the government of Japan, but all the foreign-based embassies and governments who are hearing right across the world, because we are now live and streaming across the world, who are hearing our call that we would welcome all the assistance that we can. Now, in addition to the Japanese grassroots project, I'm also cognizant that particular primary schools sometimes seem to be left behind. Right? The high schools have a lot more support from their alumni association. So we have launched a project, Welcome Councillor Bell, where I've allocated ambassador, well, initially 210 million, but I have found another $100 million. So for the primary schools across all 14 parishes, we'll see where we are going to be making significant investment in terms of infrastructure upgrade. And we'll, as long as the minister, they are continued project, because I want by the time I finish my term, I would have impacted on every primary school. So by the time I leave you, all of you must look at Jamaica College. That's a school that I'm quite familiar with. And last year, we increased your janitorial grant, I promise you, by 42%. But I even give you more this year. For the primary schools, your per capita regular grant will move, Councillor Bell, from $930 per capita to a whopping $2,500 that they'll be getting as of April this year. So that is complementing what you're doing in terms of investments in our schools. Now, in regards to the path and the feeding program, well, we're doing some rationalization, and I know that some of you are getting from double dipping, and we have to rationalize. So I'm saying that it was never the intention of government for you to be on the NPL, the government's snack program, as well as feeding. Because the snack program was for only those who wouldn't have canteen facilities. So if you have canteen facilities, and you're on the snack program and you're getting money for feeding, one of them will have to go, because what I'm committed to is a cooked meal per day for each of our students 5 days a week. So that is what we're going to be doing, because I hear some of you are either selling it or having the students sometimes stoning each other with some of the bullets and the Nutribun. So we have to do some rationing. And I cannot allow scarce resources to be wasted. So we have to do some rationalization. We're investing also in the canteen facilities to make sure that they're upgraded so you can deliver quality meals. Where some schools nearby don't have the facilities, we can network, partnership again. But I prefer for them to have a cooked meal. The primary, we are making sure we have enough resources, textbook, etc. in the primary. Of course, we're rolling out the tablet in schools, But I'm saying the government is doing everything to make sure that all the things that the students need to do very well, they do so. I know some of you are exposed to national standards curriculum, and we're working with you to make sure that we're all on the same page with that. And we are making sure there are no barriers to access the education, no fees at primary, at secondary. And I know just today that the government wants to get at least 50% space at the early child level as we transition and rationalize many of those basic schools to become infant school, or where we can attach infant department, because we will offer better quality education, particularly for the poor, free of cost by government. Because if we want to lift our people out of poverty, we have to reach them through education. One of the last components that bothers me that we have to fix to complete the cycle is that we still have an average of 20% absenteeism in our schools, particularly in the rural areas. And you know why? Because in the rural areas such as Southeast, St. Anne, where we have a lot of poverty, a lot of poor people all over, cost of transportation, the road. So Council Bell has to fix the road. And when he fixed the road, we want now to roll out a national school bus system. Because the poor people who can't find, that's why the students attend school so irregularly. I'm sure you have a bus system in Japan for the students. Take them to school. Yes. But all the developed countries do. All those yellow buses you see on TV. Hello? School bus, dedicated school bus. Yes. So I'm simply saying, I know we're not there yet, but I am making the case that under the auspices of PATH, since we are spending resources for our more poor and vulnerable and marginalized, but if they are not getting to school regularly, the investment we are putting there, the wonderful buildings that we are putting up, the improved infrastructure that we have, to say it is for them. But if they can't even reach, at least we're at salvation, wherever you are, you can get salvation. You don't have to move from where you are. But for the quality education as we are designed, unless you're going to have them being able to have the kind of technology in your home, and you're the same poor ones that don't have the technology in their home because they can't afford it. For them to benefit from the quality education, they must come and drink at the fountain of education at the school. So we will have to take them from where they are in their homes to school. So I'm only saying to Councillor Bell and the rest of us that you have to work with me, that it is imperative now to take education to the next level through the PATH program, that we have a comprehensive national school bus system that will be able to take our kids from home to school, from school back to home. We're piloting 5 parishes for September. And again, I welcome partnership from the government of Japan and all those who have money and transportation for us to take our children to school instead. I thought I would get a big applause. So finally, having completed the circle, we are investing in education, we are putting the facilities in place. So for the students, we want you now to take your education very seriously. We want you to understand that all of us, including the government of Japan, is investing in you because we want a better Jamaica. We want, first of all, a world-class trained workforce, highly trained and skilled. Just came from another launch in Seaview where they launched a workforce college. I'm lamenting the fact that investments are on the horizon, but the workforce are not ready. Too few of us in the workforce are trained and equipped for the new investments that are coming. So we have to transition this new generation. While I tackle those who are out of school unattached, but those who are now pursuing education have to have a longer vision to stay in school, learn as much as you can, not out in school anymore. So let me tell the parents that no outing of school. The only time you're going to out school is when you reach 30 and you have a PhD. For you are going to now have a vision to go right up to age 18 to grade 13 and learn as much as you can, whether the traditional sixth form or the career advancement program or the multiplicity of program we have. Then you're going to still work and study, and you're going to get your first degree. You're going to get your second degree, and then you're going to get your PhD, and then after 30, having acquired a PhD, you know you're going to have continuous, what we call, lifelong learning. You have to continue to upgrade yourself. So that's the vision. And I said to Ambassador, he and I have a competition. Because Japanese use education to transform their economy. So that's what, and that's why he's bringing to Jamaica. He's bringing that culture. He knows the value of education. So when we so properly educated all our children, then unfortunately, Ambassador, we are going to outperform Japan. And I'm sure that is what that you intend. Or we can have a look at Japan in the West. But the one that I really want to outperform is a little place called Singapore. Because they came a couple of years ago in the 1960s and looked at Jamaica and said, wow, what a wonderful place. I wonder if they could follow what Jamaica was doing. Yes, they came, just like, oh, we taught the Cubans about Martinique, orange. Yes, good. So let me not go into that. But that's the vision. So again, Ambassador, ladies and gentlemen, it's a very wonderful occasion. And so I already give you the charge, I give you the vision, I give you the aspiration. So let us now work hand in hand in partnership, all of us together, to move education forward, to move Jamaica forward. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're coming close to the end. Right now I'm going to invite the Reverend Zaria Williams, Chairman of the Zion Hill Primary School, to bring the vote of thanks.
Mr. Alton Davis, MC of the ceremony. All protocols observed at this time. I am just led to say, to God be the glory, great things he hath done. There is a Japanese proverb that is very dear to my heart, and I think very relevant to life in general. It says, I quote, "A journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step." Children today are the men and women and the leaders of tomorrow. They are partway on their journey, and many persons and institutions would have played vital roles in their lives on such a journey. His Excellency, Mr. Nakona, these grants from the people of Japan are very timely gifts and deposits to these children from the Epworth and Zion Hill primary schools, and by extension to the different communities that will be served. I am convinced that these grants will go a very far way in the development and the safety of these, our children, and the people in the communities. These grants will be investments that will forge greater link between your country and our country, between your government and our government, between your children and young people and ours. And particularly for the young people, I believe in the track and field. Because I know Japan certainly eyeing what is happening in Jamaica. And we believe that before long, as a result of the link that is being forged between these countries, we are going to see some track stars in Japan. Certainly they will not be like our bowls and so forth, but you will certainly come close. And it is wonderful to have you, your team, with us in our country, and we are certainly grateful for the contributions received today. So on the behalf of our recipients, the Epworth and Zion Hill Primary School, the government and people of Jamaica, special thanks and best wishes for you and your country. We pray that your stay here and your team will be a very long one. As Minister Reid has already said it, and you have said it too, we have seen quite a bit of fruit, and we hope it will continue to bear, because we have rich soil here, and if you stay long, things will continue to improve. So once again, thanks to you and your people. Thanks to all of us, all you persons who have shared in one way or the other in this ceremony. We wish for all of us God's continuous blessing.
Dream big. If there were ever a time to dare, to make a difference, to embark on something worth doing, it is now. Not for any grand cause necessarily, but for something that tugs at your heart, something that is worth your aspiration, something that is your dream. You owe it to yourself to make your days count. Have fun, dig deep, stretch. Dream big. Know though that things worth doing seldom come easy. There will be times when you want to turn around, pack it up and call it quits. Those times tell you that you are pushing yourself and that you are not afraid to learn by trying. Persist, because with an idea, determination and the right tools, you can do great things. Let your instincts, your intellect, and let your heart guide you. Trust. Believe in the incredible power of the human mind, of doing something that makes a difference, of working hard, of laughing and hoping, of lasting friends, of all the things that will cross your path. The start of something new brings the hope of something great. Anything is possible. There is only one you, and you will pass this way but once. Do it right.
This is my wish for the world, that peace will find its way to every boy and girl. This is the time for harmony, the love. joyful noise, ring the bells and raise your voice. Let there be peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth. Lift your light and let it shine. Let it shine, shine, shine. Let every voice be heard. Let there be peace on earth. I hear the sweetest sound, the sound of hope to come. Together we could bring goodness to everyone. Let us start with you. Let us start with me. Let every nation rise and sing this melody. Fill the air with joyful noise. Ring the bells and raise your voice. Let there be peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth. Lift your light and let it shine. Let it shine, shine.